Welcome to the lair of the Batty Boffin.
Hi there again, Batty fans. A little bit more about multiplying out brackets. Now, in some of the earlier ones, we've done some easier ones leading up to more complicated ones. Here we're going quite some hard ones. So if these look a bit, oh my word, perhaps nip back and look at some of the easy ones leading up to here. As ever, I'm going to do a few worked examples, might get you to join in with a few, and then you'll have another board to do all by yourself. So let's get started. Okay, for the top one here, we've got 3a outside the brackets and 2a plus 7 inside the brackets. So as always, we're going to times everything outside the brackets by all the bits inside the brackets. 3a times 2a. Numbers first, the 3 times the 2 gives you a 6, and the a times the a gives you an a squared. Okay? And then we've got an add, and we've got a 3a times 7. Hopefully you know your 7 times table. 3 7's 21. A. By the way, I always like to draw these lines in. You don't have to, but I find it helpful. Also, they look a bit like dragon claws. So, right, I shall do this in red. You could put a bit of blood on the end. There you go, a little drop of blood there. These will feature more when we do 2 sets of brackets. You'll have to look at other videos of those, multiplying out quadratics. You get lots of dragon claws. Back to reality. Second one, we've got a 4x times a 3x. So the numbers first, 4 times 3, 12. X times x, x squared. Dead easy. 4x times negative 2x, negative 2y. We've got take away 8 xy. Hopefully that's all looking reasonable. Now on the next one, we've got quite a few bits and bobs going on. We've got an AB on the outside. So we've got a 5 times A times B times 2 times A. That's quite a lot in there. So you can do that one. Pause the video, have a go at that one. Welcome back. 5 times A times B times 2 times A. Everything all multiplied together. So for the numbers, we have 10. For the A's, we've got an A on the outside times an A on the inside, so we've got an A squared, and then just a little b all on its own. For the second term, we have 5ab times 5. That one's pretty easy. It's just 25ab. And for the last one down here, again, letters all over the place. I've shoved a quick squared in there as well. So have a look at that one. See how you get on. Just remember to count them all up. You've got a J outside and a J in here with an extra I. For this second term, you've got a J outside and a J times a J on the inside. So it's quite a lot of J's there. See how you get on with that. Pause the video. Right, here we go. I hope you know your 6 times table. We've got 6 times J times 3 times I times J. So, for the numbers, we have 18. We have I on its own. And then we've got a J outside times a J inside. So we've got a J squared. That's the first term. Second term, we've got a 6 times a 4. 24, and then we've got a J outside times a J squared on the inside. That altogether makes J cubed. Okay, hopefully you got all those. If you got those, then go and get a mug of tea and a chocolate digestive or something while I clear the board and give you some to do for yourself. See you in a minute. Right, here I am back again. So here are some for you to have a go at. We've got 5a outside the brackets and a mixture of a's and b's inside. This one here, very similar, with an xy outside the bracket. So here you're going to have an x times another x and then y, so you're going to have a few squareds in there. A few more squareds in here. So this one here, we've got an I times an I times an I times a j. So just work out the powers for there. 3 terms in these brackets, so you're going to have 3 terms in your answer. And the same down here. 3 terms inside the brackets, 3 outside. Remember that some of them have got takeaways, so include those. Okay, your turn. Have a go at those now, please. Right, let's see if you got those. For the first one, we've got 5 times A times A times A times B. So numbers first. That's just a 1 in there. So 5 times 1 is 5. For the A's, we've got A times A times A. So that's A cubed. And then that's just a B on its own. So that's 5 times A cubed times B. And then for the second term, we've got a 5 times a 2. And then an A times an A. So that's A squared. 5A cubed B plus 10A squared. Okay, on with the second one. First of all, with the numbers, we've got a 2 times a 3, so there's a 6. For the x's, we've got x outside the brackets times by an x inside the brackets, so that's x squared. And then we've got a y, which isn't times by anything else, that's just y. For the second term, the nice dragon claw there. In fact, I'm going to put a bit of blood on that. Just because it's nice. There we go. Blood. For the second term, it's a negative. We've got to take away there. 2 times a 4, that's an 8. And then we've got an x times a y times another y. Well, the x is just x. And the y times y is y squared. Okay, hopefully these are looking a bit more familiar now that we've done a few of them. The third one, so with the numbers, you should have had a 6. With the i's, we've got I cubed, 2 outside the bracket, 1 of them inside, and the j just a j on its own. The second term, we're adding. And we've got 3 times 3 is 9. I squared times I, that's I cubed. And for the third term, ooh, just made it. For the numbers, we've got 6 again, and it's takeaway. I squared times a j. So that's just I squared j. And the last one down here, for the numbers, we've got 8 p squared times p squared. So that's p times p times p times p. That's p multiplied by itself 4 times. We write p to the 4th. It doesn't have a posh name like squared or cubed, it's just called to the 4th power or to the 4th. The second term, we've got negative 16 for the numbers, and for the letters, p squared, q squared. And finally, the last bit, for the numbers, well, that's a 1 in front of there. It is no number, it's a 1. So for the numbers, we've just got 4. And for the letters, we've got p times another p, and then a q on its own. So p cubed q. Wow! Well, if you got all that, feel very proud of yourself. These are really quite hard ones. And I think that's as much as we're going to do for multiplying out one set of brackets. After this, we'll be doing 2 sets of brackets and something wonderfully impressive, quadratics. So look out for that in the next videos. See you next time, Batty fans.
Mwahaha! Mwahaha! Mwahaha!